Good evening. Everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, we are back after 3 weeks off from doing our live stream. 1 week we were in St. Martin, and we thought about doing it, but just weren't sure about how the internet would work, and then we were busy with other stuff. So
it wasn't working that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, you can do some stuff, but live stream, I'm not sure if it would work very well for that. And then last week after we got back, we were just beat, exhausted. So
sick.
Yeah.
Or some crud. We had
some kind of crud when we got back and just didn't feel like doing anything. So got back, and I was right in the middle of swapping computers, so that didn't help either, having to get all this stuff set back up.
Yeah.
But
I have to grab my phone because we're gonna have to talk about the Bloody Mary challenge.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the challenges.
1 second.
Because our last live stream here, we put the question out to everybody that was watching that night and said, hey, what do you want to see us do in St. Martin? And we had a number of suggestions, and we did pretty much all of it, I think.
Sorry, my chair rolls.
We did almost everything that was suggested to us. And that'll be coming out in an upcoming video. You'll see bits and pieces of it through some of the other daily vlogs. But I think I may put together just a special video for all of those challenges that our friends out there have asked us to take on. Yes. But this Saturday at 3 o'clock on Saturday is our first St. Martin vlog. That's going to be day 1 and day 2, so arrival day, as well as our private tour. Yep, we contacted Rizelle, the Traveling Island Girl. You can find her on YouTube, and she's retiring from it now, but she is still doing some private tours, and she can do consultation for folks wanting to come to St. Martin. But she took us around the island all day long, took us to a bunch of really neat spots, some secret places that she said that she doesn't normally take tour guests to, but since we've been coming to the island for so many years, she thought it'd be good to take us to some out of the way hidden places.
Yeah. And we went and had dinner at the Italian restaurant as well.
Yep. We went back to Roma again. If you watched any of our videos from last year, you saw that we went to Roma Cucina Italiana and had a great time there. Excellent meal. We decided to go back again on our first, to end our first full day on St. Martin. But anyway, so we're here and we're going to talk a little bit about our trip and things that happened. And
Sorry,
give you guys
the destination fun. Hey guys.
Hey Sherry. Captain
Sherry.
Just talk a little bit about some of the things that we did. I got back and promptly hurt myself.
The Bloody Mary challenge.
The Bloody Mary challenge. Yep.
I have my phone just so I can show some pics.
Yeah, we got some video of the Bloody Mary challenge at the Morgan Hotel, which is right across Maho Beach from our timeshare.
Should we just start talking about it?
Sure, why not?
All right. I'm going to go first. So the bartender, they were kind of busy.
Yeah.
And the bartender was not very happy that we asked for the ultimate Bloody Mary. And we brought friends with us too, because we met some people on an excursion that we went, and they needed a pickleball person. And we were like, hey, we're doing a Bloody Mary challenge. So we're like, yeah, if you do it, I'll do it, whatever. And so they were like, no, we just need regular Bloody Marys. You could just do these two because it was a challenge. So
yeah, I think it was more of a challenge for the bartender than it was for us.
Yes,
even though
I think so. Because he had the cookie. He had to, yeah.
Oh yeah, he had
to go.
He was like, because
I mean,
the bar was
minutes.
packed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were there at like, what was it, 10:30, 11 in the morning. We thought, there'll be nobody there.
What was it?
I mean,
It was Friday.
It was Friday morning, so it wasn't like a weekend or anything like that. We're like, this will be okay. Nope, they were packed, and they had so many people there, and I felt really bad for the bartender, so I ended up tipping him $20 cash before he'd even given us our drinks. Just
they made him feel better.
Yeah.
He was definitely much happier after that. And then he said, "Hey, if you come back before 3, I'm going to give you some free shots." We're like, "Yeah, right." We didn't go back though.
No, we didn't. But yeah, apparently it's this whole thing because he has to put the order for the food into the kitchen, and then the kitchen preps up the food, puts it on a plate.
Well, yeah,
and sends it out to him,
and then he has to.
Has to assemble it for the Bloody Mary and make the drinks and all that kind of stuff. And man, it was
quite a sight. Though.
Yeah, I mean that was like brunch in a glass, pretty much.
Okay, so here's the bartender fixing the drink. Hold on, I got to figure out. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that.
Probably not.
Sticking it on there. Okay, well.
Don't want to mess up her.
Yeah. And and there's the finished product there. You guys can see that.
We'll definitely be putting some of those pictures up in our vlogs and probably posting it to Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff.
I think we did put a picture up, but we didn't say anything about it. We were kind of waiting to tell you guys. So I'm curious, if everybody that's watching or whatnot, who do you think? I mean, you know the story, right? I've never had a Bloody Mary. I don't like anything spicy normally. Yep. Corey doesn't like tomatoes.
Don't like tomato juice, anything like that.
No. And so who do you think A, liked it, and B, finished it? Who won the challenge?
Oh, put your answer down in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, that Bloody Mary, that was very interesting because I mean, the guy took a teaspoon of horseradish and put it in the mix. I mean, fresh horseradish and put it in there, and all the other spices and stuff that he put in, and it was interesting. It was very interesting. At first, I thought, "Oh yeah, I can drink this because it kind of tastes like cocktail sauce."
It did taste like cocktail sauce in a cup. But should they say what was on it though? I mean, I might need to look at the picture.
Yeah. So there was.
All right, we'll start at the top.
Filet mignon.
Yep.
Then you had a mozzarella ball.
Yep.
And then a shrimp, and then
lobster.
And then tomato, more, we had bacon and filet and more lobster, mozzarella, and
another
tomato,
lime, and
plus
some
had
olives.
Lime, and it had olives.
Yeah, that was a meal.
It was, and it was, I don't know, it was like 20 something bucks for each one, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
So, you ever go to Maho Beach in St. Martin? Right next to the beach, behind the Sunset Grill, is the Morgan. Well, in that same parking lot behind the Sunset Grill is the Morgan Hotel. You kind of have to make your way around the wall to get to it. And then you just walk straight through the lobby, and then there's the bar right by the pool, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah.
Let's talk about.
So we're gonna make them wait for the answer.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys ready for the answer? I know nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything, so well, may just be sure you watch it. Oh, we got one other. We got two people in there.
There was 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right.
So I finished it first.
I didn't finish mine.
You didn't finish yours.
No, I drank about 3/4 of it, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. But it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was good. It was the food. It didn't. All the goodies on it did not pair well with the Bloody Mary. So I ate all of that and drank as I was eating. And once I was done eating, I didn't want to drink it anymore. So Corey won the challenge. He drank it all.
I guess so.
And he had the extra horseradish too. I didn't have the extra horseradish. So.
She wanted hers a little bit
not so spicy.
Not so spicy, so.
It was spicy though.
It was still
there
pretty
was
spicy.
Some burn, in the back over here, but yeah. I mean, at first I was like, "Woo, cocktail sauce in a."
So that was all the way over in Friday.
Yeah, that was Friday. We just fast forward the entire week.
Yeah, fast forwarded through the entire week.
Well, Sherry said Bloody Mary challenge, so we had to talk about it.
So our day with Roselle.
We're gonna reverse now.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning.
Well,
let's go back to the very beginning. Our flight was delayed a little bit, so it took us a little. Yeah, it was a little bit. And then it took us a little bit longer to get to St. Martin. And then they completely changed up the airport from the way it was last year. And we got.
It was actually better. You think? I thought it was.
Yeah, it was more room, and I guess they got people through faster because last year
we got us like almost an hour to get through.
Yeah, when we finally got through immigration, our luggage was all just sitting there in a pile, and so we just went up and grabbed our luggage and left. This time, what are we waiting for our luggage to come out? Yeah, I think it.
Yeah.
I think we sat around and waited for a little while for our luggage to get there.
5 or 10 minutes, yeah.
And it still took us a little while to get through, but and then we got to our timeshare, and I got to say, right off the bat, I am so thankful that all of you folks that our friends that we've met and that we invited to come to St. Martin with us this year didn't pick this year to come. Oh my gosh, we got to our timeshare and they tell us that the AC's out for the entire resort.
Hey,
Ohio Travels with Chris.
So would you get another Bloody Mary? I know I'm skipping forward again, but we had a question. So
would I get another Bloody Mary? Yeah, I probably would.
I would throw all the food on it.
I don't know if I'd get that same one, but you spice it up a little bit, throw some vodka in it. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we get to our timeshare, no AC.
Yeah.
The entire resort has been without AC.
I didn't really know what that meant, the sign that they had, until we got to our room, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. 85 degrees in the room.
It got up to like 85.5 or a little hotter than that. And yeah.
It had already been out for about 4 days at that point. So yeah. So everyone that had been there the week before had been living with no AC, and quite a few of the people that
that's our crazy cat. If you guys hear some weird.
Yeah, if you can hear our crazy cat in the background.
Oh, hey, Six Traveling Shorts.
Hey, it's the shorts. Awesome.
And I don't want to complain about the AC being out.
I don't want to complain about it.
It was rough. Yes, it was uncomfortable. However, I've been traveling there for over 30-something years, and nothing like that had ever happened before.
Yeah.
And so we really tried not to be grumpy with the staff because, it wasn't necessarily their fault, and they're doing the best they can. And everybody, I want my money back, and I want this, and then I'm getting my lawyer. And people were getting really upset. We're like, can we please just have a fan? Like, something, like just anything, because we can't sleep. So they gave us a fan on the second day, and that really helped us sleep. So
those rooms were not designed for airflow.
I hit something.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, we're good.
We live in a house that was built in the 1920s, and it was designed to not have air conditioning. Now, we're in the mountains of Western North Carolina, so we don't need it that much, except in the middle of summer. But you've got multiple windows in every room. You've got, you open the windows upstairs, and you get good airflow through the house. That's not too bad.
I haven't
got bud files,
Corey put me in charge of the comments, so I'm trying. So if I'm distracted, that's why.
Well,
hello, Budfuzz. I know.
Click on it.
But I haven't been showing others. So, now you're getting that special treatment.
That special treatment, Budfuzz.
So anyway, let's fast forward. We were like, let's get our bathing suits on.
So we were just like, all right, let's get. We can't stay in the room. We unpacked and put our bathing suits on and headed down to Driftwood, one of our favorite places to go, right there on Maho Beach.
It's now tradition. Like we go there every time we come in, whatever day we come in, and we get our meal, and then we get a bucket of Carib. Yep. Which last year was smaller bottles. This year were bigger bottles. So he drank most of them. But
sat there watching the planes land and watching people laying out, getting a suntan, drinking our beer, and eating St. Martin ribs.
They're good.
Gotta love them.
And so that's really all we did. Yeah. We went swimming also, which was nice.
Yeah. Went swimming briefly, got in the hot tub.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were just kind of exhausted.
I think we were sleeping by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we were in bed early.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was hot. At that point, we didn't even have a fan.
Yeah.
And it was 83, 84 degrees in our room. And
you don't realize how much it really takes out of you either.
Right.
Like it really, we lived in Florida, but even living in Florida, I mean, we were more acclimated because our house, we left at like 78 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But, here we leave it in the summer 73 and in the winter 70. So like, we're not really used to that hot, humid weather. And there was a dehumidifier in the room. And let me tell you what, we were emptying that sucker.
Emptying it about twice a day.
No, I was doing it twice at night.
Yeah.
So you were at the casino winning all of that money.
If only.
I was the winner, actually.
But yeah, so thankfully no one took us up on our offer to go to St. Martin.
Yes, this year was not the year.
Yeah, this was not the year. We do have a 2-bedroom timeshare, but anyway, the whole thing happened because we got a cat over there being bad. She's distracted.
The furniture. I'm trying really hard.
Where's the squirt bottle?
It's in the other room. I'm gonna go grab it.
So where was I going with that? The whole thing happened because apparently they've been having rolling blackouts in St. Martin. The locals will tell you that they're letting too many hotels, resorts, private homes, mansions, whatever. They're letting too many of those be built without upgrading their utilities. So
hey, Howie Cruz.
Hey guys.
To answer the question, yes, it was out the whole time.
No, it wasn't the whole time.
Oh no, we
did
get
finally
it
got it up the Friday before we left. So we got there on Sunday. What happened was, with the brownouts, it blew out 2 compressors and the logic board on their on their cooling system
and the generator, because they had.
And this thing's only like
it was
10 years old or something, or less than 10 years old.
2018. She said.
So it's fairly new. They have a generator, but I guess it didn't kick on in time to protect the system. We never saw a power outage at the resort.
And we had warm water, whereas some tenants didn't have warm water. Although we took cold showers. The water's not cold, but it was cold enough that you could feel the heat coming off your head. Yeah.
So what they had to do, they went to the company that made their cooling system, and they had to purchase the parts from the company in Boston.
No, Baltimore.
Yeah. And they said that if they were in the States, they would still be under warranty. But since they're not in the US, they don't have a warranty. So they had to buy the parts, have them shipped to Miami, and then have them overnighted from Miami to St. Martin. And then they started working on it. And I guess they got it in like Wednesday or Thursday.
It took, I think, 2 full days to get it up running, testing. because they had to get that water out.
Well, they had to,
what is that called?
Whatever.
Nitrogen.
They got to pump it down and
yeah.
Put a vacuum pump on and all that stuff.
But
and
anyway,
get all the
this is
moisture
not
out.
what they want to hear.
Anyway,
they want to hear about St. Maarten.
You want to hear about St. Maarten.
Anyway,
So
yes, we had 1.5 days of AC.
At the very end. So
and it didn't get all the way down, but it was better.
And I think the biggest part about that was it kind of put a damper on some of the things that we could do
or wanted to do. And this was the first year that Corey and I were both okay with coming home. Like usually every year we're like, oh, I want to stay a little longer.
Hey, we got Eddie in the house.
Brooklyn in the house. And so this year we were okay with going home, and then it's sad to say, but I mean, we still did quite a bit. We were not at the room a lot. We weren't at the pool a lot. We get to the pool in the afternoon, and then we would just swim for
a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a different trip this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of things planned, a lot of things that I wanted to do that, it got towards the end of the week and we were just kind of worn out from the heat. We did finally get a fan on Monday.
That on the second day.
We got that on Monday, so
that helped us sleep.
Nice, powerful fan that we put right at the foot of the bed and blew on us as we slept, and that was that actually helped us
all right,
be able
we need
to sleep.
To move on with
yep. All right.
Yeah. Come on, fun stuff.
All right. So our trip with Roselle.
Which you were kind of talking about, she took us.
We started talking about that. So. If you don't know Roselle, the traveling island girl, she lives on St. Maarten. She does a lot of videos on St. Maarten and some of the surrounding islands. If you haven't checked her out, I highly encourage you to check her out.
She's going to do consulting now. So
she's going to do travel consulting now. She's been on YouTube for years, apparently. One of the things she told us is that because she lives in St. Maarten, for whatever reason, the way things are set up, she can never get monetized. So even though she's got tons of subscribers and puts out lots of videos, YouTube doesn't pay her any advertising money, which
that's too bad.
It is too bad. But anyway, she took us to a number of places, several places that folks around here have mentioned. And
can I kind of jump forward to that tour and just so she found out that we own a business here in North Carolina, and of course most of you guys know, if you don't, we own a brewery. Corey's our brewmaster, and when she heard about that, she totally changed the tour up. And it was towards the end, but
changed the end of it.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh, well then you have to come to here, like at first she didn't tell us, and then she ended up telling us. She took us to SXM Brewing or Brewery.
SXM Beer.
SXM Beer.
So that is one of 3 breweries that I know of on St. Maarten.
And we've been to 3
We've been to the other 2.
If there's more, we've been to those 3. We've been to Pelican, which you brewed with.
Yeah, last year. If you look at our videos from last year, I did a collab beer with Pelican Brewing on St. Maarten last year.
And then we did a tour
we did a tour of...
They have the Dirty Blonde, right? No. What are they?
Yeah, it's...
Uh-oh.
Dutch Beach Blonde, I think is what the beer is called, but it's...
I have pictures, but oh no!
St. Maarten Brewing Company, I think is what it was.
I think
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
they were bottling that day, so
they were bottling. So we kind of got a private tour.
Yeah,
got private tasting
right off that line. And...
they grabbed a couple of bottles off the line, threw them in the refrigerator while we tasted their other beers that they had on tap.
Right in front of that fan.
Yeah, I had a nice fan. Talked about beer with I guess one of the owners, David. Yeah, and it's a good time.
Yeah. So that was part of that. So that'll be coming out. Hi, hello.
Hey, Hikanuki.
Yeah, he's better. Hi, Kanuki, right? A little tour.
Hikanuki. I would think, is it Hikanuki?
Hopefully we're saying it right.
Hopefully we're saying it right.
Sorry if we're not.
So that was Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, we went into Phillipsburg for a little while. I was
because the Icon was
gonna,
there.
the Icon was there. I really wanted to get some footage with my drone of the Icon.
What?
Laurie was stumbling all over the place. What's that all about? I wanted to get some video of Icon from Phillipsburg, but it was really, really windy that day.
And some other guy was flying and we couldn't see it, and you didn't feel safe doing it.
Yeah, I didn't feel safe. So we got some stuff around Phillipsburg, went to our favorite restaurant there on the boardwalk in Phillipsburg, which is
at the Beer Factory.
Caribbean Blend.
Too bad.
Caribbean Blend.
Yeah. And we also had a toast because Corey's sister has come with us a couple times, and it's, we always have a toast for each other, and they couldn't come this year, and so I went and had a drink at the Bitch Bar.
Blue Bitch.
Something. And
let me tell you what. This is YouTube. You got to watch what you say.
I'm sorry.
That's a female dog. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It was the dog bar. And so it was the best BBC I have ever had. It's Bailey's banana colada. And coconut. And so if you are in Phillipsburg and you find the dog bar, go there and get that drink.
Yeah, that was fun. That's about all we did on Tuesday.
Yeah, and then we went to bed at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, except we went to eat at probably Spices of India that night.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what these guys did? I say these guys, him and the wait staff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to order what I know I like, right? Because I am not huge on Indian food because I'm not big on spicy stuff. And so I said mild. They're like, oh, no, it has more flavor if you go for medium. And I'm like, well, I don't like spicy. And Corey's like, yeah, do it. It's medium. It's not going to be that bad. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. I get medium. My lips were so on fire, and the back of my throat, I couldn't eat it. And then I tried to do something different and get a Indian drink. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That wasn't so good either. They did make it better, and I drank most of it, and then they made another one because they felt bad that I didn't like the one that I ordered. It was a salty milk or something.
Yeah, it was something really weird.
And then they put mint in it, and it kind of helped, but
it was like a salty yogurt
something or other
smoothie or something. I don't know the Indian food that well myself.
Yeah, and then they made a strawberry something with some sort of syrup in it, which I really didn't want the syrup, but it was much better.
Yeah.
And so that was that night. Yeah. Trying to do things different.
And then Wednesday we had our big day to ourselves, where we rented UTV. And we revisited a lot of the places that Roselle took us.
Yeah.
Because she was just kind of trying to get us to all these different places around the island. And there were some of them that we really wanted to stop and spend some more time at.
And the vehicle was not performing well at all.
That UTV was horrible.
No way I could have drove it. I wouldn't have been able to do it. He couldn't even get it in gear.
Yeah, I mean,
and the tires were spinning, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is not safe."
Yeah, I mean, you just barely give it the gas, and that thing would jerk. And I'm sitting here. I'm just starting off with this thing, and it's parallel parked between a bunch of other ATVs with hardly any space. No. And I get that thing in reverse, and I tried to give it a little bit of gas, back up a little bit, and you go, get. I'm like, oh, this is not going to work well. And then we drove it all over the island.
And then he finally gets out of the spot, and then he steps on the gas, and of course we're like,
yeah.
And then over the speed bumps are
it was not good. And then trying to shift into drive, it was everything it took everything I could do to try to get it into drive.
That's not normal for rentals.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did tell them, we're like, look, I'm not looking for any money back.
Right.
But you just need to know that that's not safe.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely look at it. But
and there was something wrong with the differential on it, because if we were going 2 miles an hour trying to do like a U-turn in a parking lot, you could hear those wheels just squealing, going nuts. So it was.
But we had a lot of fun anyway.
And we had a lot of fun.
You did good. We
went to a lot of neat places where I wanted to fly my drone.
Yes.
And unfortunately,
most of the places were no-fly areas.
Yeah, I mean, I checked it all out before we went to St. Maarten, and my DJI app says no problem. There's no restrictions or anything. I get there and it's like, oh, this is a restricted zone. This is a restricted zone. And so,
so just be aware of that if you are planning on flying a drone. Some places you won't be able to do it. And
there are 2 airports on the island, and inevitably
they're wherever you went.
Pretty much wherever you went, except for Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg is in the clear. So if you're around the cruise port, you're good to go. Yeah, no problem there.
So we went to Friars Bay on the UTV and had lunch.
Yeah. Now we'd gone to Friars Bay with Roselle, but the place she wanted to take us for lunch was actually closed that day because they were having a technical issue. The person that was supposed to have the key didn't show up to work that day or something like that.
Yeah. And we saw a random cow in the parking lot that day too.
We did.
That was fun. I took
kind
pictures.
of funny. But yeah, we went to a lot of really neat places. You'll see it. Some of the other challenges we did. I think Abby asked us to go to Mullet Bay. We went to Mullet Bay.
Oh, I'll share a story about Mullet Bay. Just that one where I walked away from you and you're like, where did you go? So normally Mullet Bay or Mullet Beach, sorry, I've been doing that too. Yeah. Mullet Beach is normally pretty calm. Yeah. And so the day that we went, it wasn't very calm. It was very, I was like, what? Now,
10? Monday when we went with Roselle, it was very calm.
It was very calm.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it was what you expect Mullet Beach to be. That's where all the locals go to, if they want to go to the beach. Normally they're going to Mullet Beach. So.
Yes. And so I have to say, they were probably 10-foot.
Oh yeah,
or something.
On Wednesday when we went there, it was massive.
I wouldn't go in, and
massive.
I wanted to, but I was like, no, it's a little rough. And so there were. I looked, and there was I forgot the name of the ship that was in. It was a Royal Caribbean, and so I looked over and I saw these 2 older ladies. One lady was like sitting down on the ground, and she just kept getting pummeled by the waves.
Right,
and I was like, I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then this other lady was struggling to get up. She was trying to get up. And so I was like, I got to go over there and see, if they need some help. I mean, I didn't know exactly what I'd be able to do, but I was just like, hey, do you guys need some assistance? And I said it like 3 times. And then finally the lady that just kept getting hit with the water, it was almost like she kind of snapped out of it as I was talking to her. And she ended up getting up and she was like, oh, no, I'm okay now. And like, you could see that they were just kind of a little disoriented for a moment. And they were like, something about me going over. And I go, no, I just saw that you guys, were just, looking like you were getting, having a little trouble. So I just wanted to come over and see if I can help. Oh, that's so nice of you. Like, what a nice little, so we started talking for a while. And so they ended up, I told them that it's not always that rough. And so, that
was very unusual.
Yeah. And so, and then I come back and Corey's like, where'd you go? You left me with all this stuff. And I was like, there were ladies that needed some help. So I wanted to, help them out. So it was not normally very rough. So if you do find yourself in that, just be careful with the rip current. And it was rough.
Let's see, where else did we go that day? We tried to make it over to.
We went to Kupakoi.
Was it Anse Marcel?
Oh yeah. We've never been there, and we got close.
We went to Kupakoi. Then we went over to Friars Bay, and then we went through Marigot, and we went over to Grand Casse.
We went through there.
We had to go to Grand Casse because
I needed my perfume.
Lori needs her perfume, and
that I made last year, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, if you look at one of our videos from last year at Tijon.
No, we did not get a mullet hair wig in Beach.
Anyway, this place called Tijon, they've got perfume classes where you can make your own scent, and they teach you everything in the process. Takes about an hour or so, something like that. And she made one last year. She loved it. She used it all. She needed to get a refill, so we stopped by there since we had the ATV.
Yeah. And it was pretty interesting because there was like a bunch of cops in there, or what are they called on the French
gendarme
side?
Or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing on the French side of St. Martin. Apparently, most of their police force comes from France, and they're on St. Martin for 6 months,
and they rotate out. So
whenever they get fresh police officers, apparently they're like, "Oh, fresh meat in town."
And so we went in, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" I was like, kind of nervous, like, okay. I walked in, I was like, and because I wasn't sure what to expect, I was like, somehow they were looking at cameras and stuff, and so
I don't know what happened there.
I know. So we were on our best behavior, being quiet and just like not doing anything. And so after they left, the ladies, they told us that they actually come in and look at their cameras and make sure that everything is going smooth. Were you not there when they said that?
No, I was just looking around. Or
apparently that's something normal that they go in, and because their cameras are located in a really good area or section, like you can see a lot, they will come in and look at the cameras, and so they'll go through a certain amount of time or whatever to check. And yeah, that's what it's called, Eddie.
Gendarme. Yeah. Gendarmerie.
And so that was kind of cool. So nothing bad did happen. So so I even had to go to the ladies' room, and I was like, I'm afraid to go. There's all these guys. It was fun. Anyway, all these different experiences we had this year. It was a really different kind of trip this year.
So we tried to make it over to Anse Marcel, which is kind of a hidden away little beach. But when we got there, it looked like we had to park in a parking lot and walk. And we didn't know how far we would have to walk to get through the resort or whatever, because all the beaches on St. Martin are public, so you have to have access to it. But
so we drove around the parking lot a couple times, and
and at that point, that I got so fed up with the UTV that we
were ready.
Ended up driving all the way back to Maho, and
is that where we went to, like the top of the peak or whatever? Okay, so
because you have to go up this very steep road to the top of this peak, and then you go down into this little bay on the other side, and it was a pretty steep trek, but kind of cool.
Yeah,
coming down into that. I think we've seen that from the water before. I think last year when we were on Billy Bones and they stopped to try to show us some turtles. Yeah, that was where we were.
Okay.
It was in Anse Marcel. But
so that was Wednesday.
Yep.
What did we do after that?
After that, I'm not sure.
Oh, we played bingo, I think.
Yeah, I think we got back to the pool and they were doing bingo around the pool.
Yeah, we got into the last game.
Interesting.
Just so fun.
First time they'd done that.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, so we got back and jumped in the pool.
Yeah.
Had to cool off some.
It was hot.
Thursday we had
an excursion.
Our excursion with
Random Winds.
Random Winds, yes. That was our. They invited us out to on this excursion, so that was cool. It was a catamaran. I'm not sure how big. Maybe
it wasn't huge.
It wasn't huge. Maybe 30 foot
but
or so.
But I will say the weather was not good. So they asked everybody, "Hey, it's choppy. You may, if you're prone to getting sick, you may get sick. We can refund you. You could go. Whatever." And everybody said, "No, we're gonna try to." And I'm prone to getting sick, and I was like, "Well, I'm taking one for the team. If I get sick, that's what you guys will see. Otherwise." And so they stayed close to shore, so it really wasn't bad at all. but I don't think we went to some of the places that they would normally go if it was a little calmer.
Yeah, I don't know what their normal itinerary is
because they do it based on weather.
Yeah, it says on the reservation that the itinerary will be determined by the captain on the day of sailing.
Yeah.
Based on the weather. So I don't know what they would normally do. It left from Phillipsburg at Dock Maarten.
Went through Simpson Bay.
And basically went over to Simpson Bay. Stopped at Little Bay, I think it is what it's called.
Yeah, snorkeling.
Did a little snorkeling there. Did the Tarzan swing.
That was fun. You did that.
Yeah, I did the Tarzan swing.
I did not.
They cooked us lunch on board the boat, and of course we had free drinks and everything for the whole trip, and it was pretty cool. We met some neat people.
Yeah. In fact, I've been thinking about shouting Erica out, say hello again.
Yep.
Yeah, that was our pickleball.
Yep, that was. They were actually the funny thing was they're staying at the Sonesta Maho, which is right next door to our timeshare, the Royal Islander.
It's an all-inclusive resort.
So, you ever want to go to St. Maarten and want to go to an all-inclusive, Sonesta Mahos? Apparently, they had a pretty good deal on that.
Yeah, and the airfare is included in that too. And her friends that did it before she did had like $100, $200 less for the airfare than she did. So she had to pay a little bit more because at that.
Yeah, but I think with airfare it was like $1,800 for
them, and I think it was like 21 for her. Yeah, and then you have food, drinks, pool, beach. So you get all that included.
Not a bad deal.
No. All right, so that was Thursday.
Yeah, that was Thursday. Pretty neat excursion.
That was fun.
We'll have the video coming out on that.
Oh, and they had little things that stuck out of the front, like little seats.
Yeah, kind of like a bowsprit or something that on either side. Yeah, that's the one.
So I sat on the edge with my feet kind of dangling out, and that was pretty cool.
Yep.
And there was a bird that was kind of flying with us, and it was so close that I could actually see his eyeballs. It was pretty cool. So that was fun. And then I watched him dive and get some fish. Yeah. And then he came back, and he just kept going with us. And I'm watching him, and I was like, wow, that's pretty rough. I mean, it was really windy, and you're keeping up with the boat, as we were going. And he'd glide, and then all of a sudden be like, and like. So anyway, the little things. I'm very easily entertained.
So that was Thursday. Friday. Yeah. Friday we went and played pickleball, or a bunch of different.
It was paddle. Where first we did the paddle ball because it was wet.
It was wet. Then we did a little pickleball.
Oh, hey! Thumbs up.
And then we
did the Bloody Mary challenge after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked out. Bloody Mary challenge. Now we can go eat and drink.
Yeah. And then I think we just kind of hung out at the pool the rest of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mama needed some rest.
That was Friday.
So that get some sun.
That kind of messed up part of my schedule because.
Oh no, we tried to do Didn't we try to do the jet thing, or was that Saturday?
That was we had to push that off to Saturday. I had planned on Friday to go back to Phillipsburg.
Didn't you have to go somewhere? Didn't you go somewhere?
I was planning on it. Yeah, I was planning on what I wanted to do that I didn't get to this year was I wanted to jump on the bus system in St. Maarten and ride every route and document it because they've got a pretty decent bus system there, but there's no maps. So you don't know where any of these buses go unless you just know it. Yeah. There's a bus from Phillipsburg to Maho and back. And there's a bus from Phillipsburg to Marigot and back. And then I know that there's a bus that goes from Marigot to Grand Case and on close over to Orient Beach.
And then there's something going to St. Peter's, which we're not sure where that is.
Yeah, and then I mean there's all these little offshoots and sidelines and things. And I know you can catch a bus from Phillipsburg up through Belvedere and the Dutch Quarter and then there's one that'll go to the French Quarter. So
everybody now,
yeah, I mean they've got all these different buses, but there's no map that tells you where they're supposed to go.
So what did you end up doing?
I didn't go.
Oh, you napped.
No, I didn't nap. Well, maybe I did.
Yeah. Well, because it was so hot.
It was so hot. Yeah.
We were pretty tired and going all week.
Yeah.
We're old. It was taking a toll on us.
So basically, yeah, I just kind of scrapped that idea. And I was also going to do my $4 excursion on St. Martin, try to redo that video because for whatever reason, the one I did last year didn't get any traction. And I think more people, especially more cruisers who are stopping in St. Martin, need to know about that because it is so easy and cheap to get from Phillipsburg to Maho and back for
plan on at least an hour.
Yeah, but, $2 each way.
It took us 20 minutes this year, but don't plan on an hour because you want to have that extra traffic.
Just make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get back to the ship.
And then Saturday?
And then Saturday, I did do.
You played chicken again.
I played chicken with the Jets again. Yeah. So I got up there.
Far away this time.
Yeah. I got out there, and this is kind of funny. I was looking for the KLM because KLM is the biggest jet that flies in there. That and Air France. Yep. Those are the two big ones.
And they're so loud.
I played chicken with KLM last year, and I wanted to do it again this year. Come to find out, KLM didn't fly in on Saturday, but Air France did. So I was like, all right, well, guess Air France it's going to be. So I got out there a little bit early, and there were a couple of more jets that took off, and I got right in the jet blast. And
Delta, and was it American or United?
It was one of those. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was United.
And before, because I know where you're going, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to give a little backstory. So there was a lady next to me that was there for the week, and they were leaving on Sunday also, so they stayed in the timeshare. So we were kind of talking about stuff, and she was very interested in the planes and what was going on. So I was kind of, giving her some education of, what to expect. Oh, big one's coming in, she wanted to take pictures and stuff, and this, that, and the other. So I was like, okay, yeah, I know it's coming. I got the thumbs up from Corey and everything. I was like, okay. So I was like, yeah, it's coming. You got to listen, you'll hear it come down. And then they'll ultimately turn around, and then they'll start to go. And now I'm going to go.
Yeah. So, yeah. Air France flies in all the new cops on Saturday.
Yeah.
Something like that. So anyway, I'm sitting there waiting for Air France, and it's late. It's supposed to take off like 20 minutes before, and I'm just standing out there on the beach waiting for this thing to take off. And I've got Lori way back over, out of the way this year because she wasn't out of the way last year. So we thought she was far enough away, but
like
I had
50 feet. And I was getting pelted.
I had a nice 200 millimeter zoom lens on a tripod for her, way back out of the way behind the building. Yes. And so she was fine where she was, and I'm right there in the thick of things with an action cam and
you had your Insta 360
I had my Insta 360 out to just capture as much as I could with it. And yeah,
I hear what sounds like a plane taking off, but it doesn't sound like it's where it's supposed to be or as loud as it's supposed to be.
Air France was sitting on the edge of the tarmac for a long time, and finally I see, it's pulling out on the tarmac, and that's probably when I gave Laurie the thumbs up. And what does it do? It pulls out on the tarmac and turns away from me. If you've never been to St. Martin before, almost every jet that takes off by basically backing up to that fence right by the beach.
Except for American.
Occasionally, one or two of them will change, and it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the wind. I know that a lot of times they'll take off into the wind. That makes sense. Yeah. But the wind was not in their favor to take off in that direction. But yeah, it went down to the other end of the runway and took off over the beach, which
the other way.
The other way, and it's like, are you serious?
And before I knew what was happening, I looked up and here, I was like, oh, we missed it.
So
I didn't even get it on camera, I don't think, because I didn't realize by the time I was ready, thinking that it was coming, it wasn't there. So
anyway, that was a bust. But at least we had, it was a crazy week.
Really crazy. And we didn't do anything at night. We were bums.
Yeah.
We just sat.
Well, we did go to one thing I can say, in Maho, they've got Casino Royale there.
Oh, yeah, we did the slots
and
tournament.
Twice a week, they do a slots tournament.
This year was Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday, I guess it was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And it's free. Unlike your cruise ships where you got to pay $25 to get in a slot tournament. It's free.
Hey,
so
Vacation Nation.
Hey. So we jumped in both times.
Yeah.
And Wednesday night, I won my round, and I came in 10th place
at the end.
At the end, or whatever I came in last, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I still got $25
for winning your round.
For winning my round, and $25 because I made it to the final round. So I had $50 in free play credit. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Friday, I won my round. And I was in the final. I think I finished almost last too.
Yeah.
But I got $50 too, so we were playing on some, borrowed money, and I ended up taking home about $138.
Yeah.
So.
We don't play big.
No. I'd rather buy me, a purse or something.
Yeah. We got a budget, $20 a night on the slots, and that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Occasionally we'll play a table, but not very often.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd rather spend
need a lot more
money
cash.
On other things. Yeah. Yeah. And so that was Friday. So Saturday was the jet challenge, and then what else did we do on Saturday? And we played bingo.
Well, we went back to Spices of India at one point. I don't remember what night that was.
Oh yeah, and I got the chicken mild this time.
Your chicken korma.
I didn't drink any. No, wait, I got a glass of wine. I got a glass of wine. Yeah. Because I knew that I would drink it. So it wasn't even that good of a wine, was it? I don't think it was. But anyway. Yeah. So we had fun overall, even though there was a lot of what's the word? Speed bumps? About that.
So destination.
Oh, you can answer that.
Where you get the flight schedules.
There's
just look up SXM flight schedule, and I think it's the Princess Juliana International Airport.
And there's also two other places that they have it at the Sunset Bar. They have it all written out. And Maho had it this year. Our timeshare had it.
Oh, Royal Islander.
I think so. I'm trying to think of where I remember seeing it, but
it was at the lobby bar.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it's also around there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time, the big commercial airplanes are kind of stuck in a time frame of like 12 and 4.
Right. So they're going to be landing a little bit earlier in the day and throughout the early afternoon. Mm-hmm. And then they all pretty much turn around and take off between noon and 3 to 3:30 most of the time.
Because normally we land at like 1:30.
Yeah.
And then we take off when we come back around 2:30 or so.
So anyway, if you're ever in St. Martin, like I say, you can take a water taxi into town. It'll drop you off right there in the middle of the boardwalk. Just walk straight back towards the courthouse. Behind the courthouse, between the two sections of the little market stalls there.
I actually have a picture of the market.
You can just wait on the corner, and you'll see a passenger van coming through, and right in the front window it'll say Maho.
Here's the Phillipsburg Marketplace.
Yeah. And if you see one of those come through, just wave at it. They'll stop, hop in. $2 to go from as long as it's a bus and not a taxi. And if there are other passengers, you can pretty much guarantee it's a bus. But if you see that sign in the window that says it's a bus, just
we'll say a destination. That's how you'll know.
It'll say the destination.
The other van will say it will have a taxi on it.
Yeah. Just jump in, ride it pretty much to the end, and it ends in Maho. Jump off there, and you can hang out at the beach, hang out at Sunset Bar if you want to. We don't particularly care for that place.
That's just us.
Yeah, that's just
us. It's very popular, and a lot of people go there, and a lot of people enjoy it.
Their food's not that great, and their prices are a little bit expensive. We go on the other side of the beach. They do
have the best sunsets there. They really do.
Yeah, they've got the best view of the sunset. Yeah. We go on the other side of the beach to Driftwood, and that's a great little place.
Yeah.
And then to go back, you can go stand out in front of our timeshare, Royal Islander.
Yeah.
And look for a bus that says Phillipsburg in the front window. Wave them down. Hop on. When you get back to those market stalls, just say, "Stop, please." They'll stop. You get out. You can either go back to the water taxi or walk back to the port. It's not that far.
No.
Maybe 10-minute walk. And it'll cost you $2 each way. So
$4.
$4. When we're on St. Martin, that's how we get around.
We do.
Occasionally we'll rent a taxi when we have to.
We didn't this year though.
Yeah.
But we actually thought next year we're gonna rent a car instead of a UTV.
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot less money, and we can go wherever we want.
Yeah, the UTV was freaking expensive, and it was a piece of crap.
Make sure that you do hit us up, because we have lots of tips that we can give you.
Yeah,
for sure. Depending on what you want to do, we're not going to tell you everything unless you want to do everything. Yeah. But yeah, whatever.
I mean, if I were going, all right, kind of depends on whether you like birds or not. But they've got Parrottville Bird Farm.
Video. But it really was not a boring time.
Boring ass video.
Yes,
it was our first. Sorry,
it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed being at it's Parrottville. He's a big bird person. So.
I love birds. So you could go up there, see the birds in the morning, come back to Phillipsburg, jump on the bus over to Maho, stay at Maho Beach throughout most of the afternoon, depending on when you're
disembarking.
Yeah, right. when you have to be all aboard time on your ship, and then jump back on a bus to go back. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've taken up enough of your time
Sunday
tonight.
we had a late checkout, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, we did have a late checkout.
I went to the pool in the morning, and it was overcast, so it was a little cool. I did not swim, so I actually had a dry bathing suit coming home. But it was nice. I was like, it just relaxed me. And then I went back and I packed, and we were, I tried to keep my vacation as long as I could. But yeah. So.
Yep. So that was our exciting time in St. Martin.
It was exciting. Lived in tank tops.
Yeah.
Didn't wear half of the clothes we brought.
No.
Because we were so hot.
It was too hot.
Yeah. I mean, some of our clothes can probably walk themselves that week. Like, I don't want to put a short sleeve shirt on.
We literally lived in swimsuits a good part of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
so hot.
Our boat trip, our excursion with Rizal, I think even when we were in the UTV, we had
we were in our bathing suits.
Bathing suits, because we never knew if we were gonna go swimming at a beach or something.
Yeah. Considering that we had no AC, we still made it a good time. It was still a good time. So.
Oh, Danny loves birds. Yeah,
definitely go.
Yeah, don't judge our Parrottville video too harshly. But you can see
it's boring, but it was a lot more fun being there.
I think they said they've got 90 different species of birds there. So you've got everything from cockatoos to cockatiels to finches to lovebirds, doves.
And when we go in April, that's when all the babies are in their little nests and stuff too, and they're kind of hanging out. by then. So I don't know. In November we'll probably, be all grown. Anyways, all right. What?
Travel says, "Wow, I love watching the show Death in Paradise, which is filmed over there."
Oh. I have to check that out.
I have to check that out. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
No.
All right, so that wraps things up for this week.
We've taken up
we've taken up too much of your time. Tune in next week, and you can learn about our group cruise we got coming on up in November.
It'll be so much fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast.
Yes.
But I'm not going to waste your time with it tonight.
No. It definitely opposite.
It was the opposite of Helen for sure.
And oh my God, right? And so the first 3 days up to like Tuesday, I think it started changing after Tuesday. They had a heat wave or heat. What did they call it?
A heat wave, yeah.
No, they called it a something. It was the way that they said it. It wasn't it was a heat. Oh, darn it. I can't remember the word that they used. It was where I was like, oh no, that's the way to describe it. Yeah, sure. But yeah, so they had a heat wave. Like it was hotter than normal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
There was no breeze, and there's usually always a breeze, so that kind of didn't help either. So yeah.
At least it's our hotel.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing. Yeah. Went to Phillipsburg that day, and it's so windy I didn't want to put the drone up.
Yeah.
And I was going to fly from I did get my drone up in the air when we were on that boat trip, but it was moving around so much. I'm like, no, I got to bring it back down before I lose it.
On Monday, when we went towards
the one time I did get it up was the one time I did fly my drone was in Phillipsburg on Monday with Roselle. She took us to Point Blanc, which is just the mountain that kind of overlooks the cruise port. And we had the MSC Seaside, I think, that was in port that day.
So we got some good footage of that.
Got some footage of that. You can see it on Saturday on the video. But
I got to do a thumbnail or my husband's going to be mad.
Yeah.
He's waiting on me.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in and joining us tonight. This is awesome. I really appreciate everybody coming out.
Thanks for talking with us.
Yeah. Love hanging out with these folks.
Yeah.
But
I guess taking a moment to register.
Yeah. From peaks to tides.
Oh yeah. We'll see you on the next ride.
Bye, guys.
Bye.